Hey, what's up, Roxstars? Welcome back to the channel. Coming to you today with another Let's Talk About It. And today, let's talk about how y'all, government, and how YSAP has failed you. I gave you guys some wrong information in top of the blog, so I wanted to correct it here. I was saying that they had a whole month before the Senate and the House go on break, and that they needed to hurry up and finalize the details on this stimulus package, or whether or not they were going to extend the CARES Act. I mean, they're going to have to extend it. But I told you guys that they go on break right before Labor Day. Well, that is not correct. They actually go on break. I believe the Senate goes on break the second week of August. And the House, I believe, goes on break starting on August 1st. So they will be on break for the month of August, which means that today was the last day for them to come to some sort of agreement. And I say was because they've already said that they are not going to have anything in place for the citizens of the United States of America who are suffering out here already. They don't have anything in place, and everyone is going to have to wait till they return the second week in September. So this is going to be dire straits for many, many people that's relying on unemployment. I think it's such a failure in government to do this to the millions of people. As of now, there are 40 million, somewhere around 40 million people that are on unemployment. It seems like every week when I look at the news and they talk about the, how many people have filed for unemployment that prior week, it's always in the million. Okay, 1.4 million, 1.2 million, I think they said 1.4 million applied for unemployment last week. And it just goes on and on. I haven't even touched on the fact that those who lost their jobs, went from furlough to pretty much laid off, they are now losing their health insurance as well. We haven't even talked about the fact that they've lost their health insurance. If the business is still available to offer COBRA, who can afford it? We know that COBRA payments are very, very high. And usually people only can afford to pay COBRA payments until they can get a new job and kind of ride it over. But when you're only getting, what they offer here in Georgia, $365 a week, if you're at the maximum, then you cannot afford to make COBRA payments. So now you are health insurance lists in the middle of a pandemic, and God forbid you or someone in your family that you covered on your insurance got sick by COVID-19, okay? Your government has now said that you don't have a job, you ain't have health insurance, now you have mounting medical bills, because if you get very, very sick, then you'll have to be in the hospital. So on top of I'm just trying to keep the household bills together. I'm just trying to pay the lights. I'm just trying to keep a roof over my head. I'm just trying to make sure that my family eats. Okay. And on top of those bills that you have, now you have possible medical bills, through the roof. And I was watching the news last night and I was getting so frustrated and mad because I was just like, this is really fucking ridiculous. Yesterday, they released the economic status of the United States for this last quarter, and it was very dismal. It said that this is the worst economic decline that the United States has had since the 1940s, since World War II. People are truly suffering at the hands of the government. I don't know where else to lay the blame. I had just watched a special on ABC last week that talked about, pretty much how the ball was dropped, how they knew pretty much since around New Year's Eve-ish that the virus was coming and continued to ignore. I know that part of YSAP's strategy is to blame his medical team, including Dr. Fauci, I realized that Dr. Fauci did make some mistakes at the beginning. I understand that medicine is not an exact science and you have to have the information about it, yet and still Dr. Fauci is still someone that I trust, especially over YSAP and whoever he has on his medical team that he's getting information from. Yeah, I was really just disgusted when I was watching that. Between that little documentary that ABC did, or not documentary, like a news piece that they did, and then just listening to the report of the, of the economical, just disaster that we are in right now, it frustrates me. I haven't been affected yet, but that doesn't mean that I can't get affected, just like many of you. It's nothing that you can sit back and be comfortable about, because shit could go left so quick. So I was just really annoyed about that. I was like, let me get out here and talk about this in my Let's Talk About It, because it don't make no fucking sense. And since we're talking about the coronavirus, and that seems to be on everybody's mind, and has been for about 5-6 months now, they said that we're somewhere around 145,000. This was as of yesterday, 145,000 deaths. And that basically means that there's 1,400 deaths in one day. And that basically means there's one person dying every minute. And what's the most frustrating about it is that it seems like YSAP continues to say that, there's great strides that's being made, that they saved so many lives in the beginning and they did everything that they were supposed to do. And it's just all lies. It's just bullshit, you guys. I just was disgusted yesterday. I was so disgusted. I guess everybody can hold on to the fact that they'll be getting at least $1,200 in the mail or in their direct deposit eventually, sometime around the end of August. But I don't even know if that goes into effect if they haven't if they haven't agreed on the entire package. I don't even know if that $1,200 is wrapped up in the rest of the package, or if they can still send that out separately. But people are it's about to get real. YSAP says that they are making great strides in bringing a vaccine to everybody. They have a project in place called Operation Warp Speed, and that is to get the vaccine out and educate the public that the vaccine is safe. I'm not saying if it is or isn't. I'm just telling you guys what they're saying. So don't sit up here and think that I'm saying that everybody needs to get the fucking vaccine. I'm just saying, okay? As far as the medical experts are saying right now, they believe that it will be 90% effective. And at that rate, I'm supposing they're saying that that is very good for a vaccine. They say, yes, it will need boosters within it, but for the most part, 90% effectiveness rate is what they're striving for. And if so, that will be a good thing. So I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't researched it to even really know whether or not, this vaccine is the way to go. But all I know is people are dying. Something has to be done to stop this. I've heard people say that they feel like they're letting all of this happen because of this being an election year. Election years have a history of just being way out and a lot of things going on. I think this one goes down in history as the craziest election year. But I've heard people say that they feel like after the election goes, that magically the vaccine will be here and that, things will start getting back on track and businesses will return to normal, the ones that don't get lost in the sauce, of course. And if that is the agenda, then that's unfortunate because it's fucking with real lives and people's livelihoods and everything. So you guys, I'm irritated about it today. So yeah, a very bleak outlook. And I think that I should tell people that people need to start really making sure that, you don't just waste money. And that the things that are the most important, it's about time to start thinking like, okay, I can't be blowing shit no more. Okay. Even if you are in something stable right now. okay, because everything else is so unstable. You just cannot be that comfortable. So everyone just rainy days. Remember your mama said put a little bit away for a rainy day? It's about to start storming. Yesterday was John Lewis's funeral. I felt like they had a memorial or something for John Lewis out here in Atlanta every day. I was like, it seemed like he had a funeral the other day. So yesterday I was like, you guys, I'm fumed out. I can't do another funeral. It's just been so many. And I just didn't have it in me. I knew that, President Barack Obama was going to be speaking, amongst others. George Bush did speak, and so did Bill Clinton. And I knew that I could just watch their speeches, or their clips of speeches, later. But as far as the entire funeral, I didn't watch it. But I did see the clip of all the presidents, but definitely President Barack Obama, forever president. You guys, I miss him so much. Besides the fact that he is just so well-spoken, I just love the fact that he stuck it to YSAP so beautifully, so eloquently last night, or yesterday, I should say, at the funeral, and how he, was able to tie in the beliefs and the values and the things that John Lewis had fought for and compare it to what is going on with our government today. When he was saying that, basically comparing him to George Wallace and other people of that nature with that line of thinking, running, our government. He made big deal about voter suppression. And we talked about that in Top of the Blogs, or in Let's Talk About It in the past, how now this administration is really trying to fuck up the upcoming election. Okay, we know about what happened out here in Georgia and in other states where there was confusion at the ballot. They've closed down polling places, forcing thousands and thousands of people to go to the same place. They have changed locations without letting people know. They are now trying to undermine Trump's administration is trying to undermine the post office by, I guess, cutting back funding. If you guys watched YSAP's briefing yesterday, he was talking about how horrible the whole absentee voting system is, that it's unreliable, and it's a mess. Even the Washington Post, I think he was saying, even the Washington Post says it, that it's a mess. And he's really trying to put that out there, that absentee voting is not safe, when it is. I've talked to you guys. I don't even know if I've talked to you guys on here, but I definitely have mentioned on my Instagram how I've had a lot of problems with the post office lately. Mail not coming, mail taking a month to get here when it should only take a couple of days. It's just been a lot of foolishness with the post office. And now I'm really seeing what they're doing. The tracking system, which has been generally reliable all this time, now it isn't. They're understaffed. They're also working in dismal conditions, and people that work at the post office are getting sick. It's a mess. I guess this is sort of like a doom and gloom type of report. I think people, I feel like maybe we've just been floating on along, and we just really need to be real about what's happening here. That vote is going to be so important, you guys. We cannot afford to have YSAP in that office for the next 4 years. I don't know where this country will be. He's really, really low in the poll numbers, but polls from the shit that happened from our last election, and I just can't get comfortable with the polls anymore, So it's just a fucking mess. But I guess I do have a little bit of, I won't say good news, but heading in that right direction. We can't get our hopes up too high on this one either, but you guys, Breonna Taylor, people have all but yelled from the top of every building in Kentucky that the police officers who are responsible for her death should be charged. Up until now, they have not decided to charge those men. One person was laid off, or fired, I should say. But other than that, nobody has been charged. I believe the other two still work for the police department. We've talked about that and how the police union has protected those police officers, and there's a lot of red tape and politics behind this as well. The FBI has decided to step in. In Kentucky, they're saying that they're working urgently and expeditiously to investigate civil rights violations by the police who killed her. Now, that's civil rights violations. Now I'm starting to think about that. That's not criminal. Huh. That's not criminal investigation. If it's a civil... All right, my rock star lawyers, the real ones. Y'all, I'm going to need you to chime in on here because I was getting excited. I was reading this. I typed it up on my my iPad and everything, but now I'm thinking about it. This doesn't say criminal violations or criminal allegations or, criminal charges, I should say. This says civil rights violations. So that sounds like to me that they're about to start a civil rights, they're going to allow a civil rights lawsuit, a civil suit, basically, where the family can sue the police department. And that's fine too. Get your money. No amount of money will bring your child back. However, we can't ignore that someone was lost. Okay. And the police department, if they are not going to get rid of them, those men, and if everybody just going to keep on going on with regular life, hell, give the mama some money. Give the mama some money. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I'm still now not sure that I should even be celebrating the fact that if this ain't criminal charges, then the police department, pays the money and it all goes away. I don't know about that, but I might be wrong, but I think that's what that sounds like to me, you guys. Like I said, my rock star lawyers, y'all chime in and let me know. The top FBI man up there in Kentucky said that he knows that everybody is frustrated, with the slowness of the case, but they want to make sure that they're meticulous about their investigation so everything goes right. Okay, I was just like, okay, well, I don't know if I believe that too. I thought that maybe they were just ignoring this and it has gone on for so long. People are still protesting in Kentucky, okay? It's still people that is fighting the good fight for Breonna Taylor out there. You don't see her name as much. You don't see her face as much, but it is still happening. I don't know what to think about that, you guys. But someone sent me an article on it yesterday, and when I was reading it, I think I just was so happy that something was finally being done there that I had overlooked completely that it was civil rights and not criminal. But that is pretty much it. Oh, that's not it. I forgot totally about what YSAP also added in his talks yesterday. He said that because everything was going on with COVID-19 and the post office being such a failure, that he felt like maybe he was going to postpone the election. See, I'm supposing that he feels like the Constitution ain't the way it should be, that he can make changes to it to fit his needs. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with him? He's not going to change the election day. It is completely written in stone how this election process goes down, and that is what it is. It's so funny, you guys, when you watch the news, when you watch the news shows and they're interviewing the YSAP supporter, I honestly wonder how they can look themselves in the mirror. I just can't understand how they can still support someone that just says such crackpot shit. It amazes me. There's plenty of Republicans out there, though, who is so tired of him. Anytime you got Fox News even reporting that he's saying things that's asinine and out of line, and you just know that folks is really tired. When I saw that, I was just like, so this is what you're trying to do, And then, of course, there's many people who believe that if and when he does lose the election, that they will have a problem getting him out of the White House when it's time to, change the guard, and, when it's time for the new person to move in. That would be Joe Biden if he wins. That there would be some sort of confrontation and some sort of him deciding that he's not leaving. And child, that would be some spectacle to see as well. But it's been a spectacle this whole time. Man, I think about when I did my video of, right after he was elected, and how I even said that I was going to give him a chance and hope that he would, do the right things. And we found out probably by that next week that was not going to happen. And it's been downhill ever fucking since. Chaos is the best way to describe it. But yeah, that was what he said yesterday. He said he gonna postpone. Look, I ain't had my coffee yet. He said that he gonna postpone the election. I said, child, I'm gonna end it right here. I have a few things to do this morning, some running around to do, and then I am hitting the road to go be with Mr. for the anniversary and birthday and all of that. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rox. The channel is for It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.